Welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Oscar.
My name is Crystal.
And today's video is living each day without regret. Who doesn't want that, right?
YOLO.
YOLO, you only live once, so might as well make this life worth it. Stay tuned for this video. What are we gonna go over?
The what, we're going old school. The what, the why, and the how. So stay in tune.
And don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and let's go ahead and rise into our potential.
Let's do this.
Oh my God! And we're back. So, let's start this video with first understanding the what. What the is regret, okay? We've all experienced an almost regret, or we've had some regrets that we finally learned from in our lives. So, what is a regret? Well, a regret in plain and simple terms is something that happened within our life that we wish did not happen. Just simply said, we wish we could have decided better, chosen better, or done better, but due to the circumstances, it happened, it was, and we're just like, I wish I could have another chance, but now we're here, right?
Yep.
So that's regret. And so now let's understand
why. That's
why.
The what. Now we're going to the why.
Yeah, why is it important to understand living each day without regret? You see, when we ask ourselves, how do we live each day without regret? We have to first dissect how it is that we even have regret in the first place.
Yes.
How does a human being even conceive or feel the ideal or expression of regret?
Well, the first thing to understand is that a regret is something that is from the past. So just by having a regrets is that you are tapping into your past, thinking in that over and over and over again. And as you mentioned earlier, that make our lives, we are making our own life miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And we
So imagine having a habit that's based on thinking of the past, and the past thought is a regret, and so the past regret makes you miserable, and that's your current habit. Oh wow.
What a great habit.
That sounds like literally you living each and every day with a pattern, which is a habit, of misery.
Yes. And sometimes you feel good because you don't know better.
Mm-hmm.
But not today.
Not today. So you see, as you can see here, this is the origination of a regret. And a lot of the times we have regrets because we don't truly know ourselves, or we haven't become fully conscious
Of
to
who we
see
are.
of who we are, so that therefore we can see the bigger lesson that relative regret taught us. We can see finally, once we become conscious, the blessing that has been
the learning experience.
Yeah, or the learning experience.
And blessing too.
The blessing that we might have seen as a regret before. So again, going back to how it originates within a human being. So a lot of the times, the way we perceive things calculates whether it's a regret or not, due to our perception. So to understand this perception that a lot of us have in the past, before, when we were really based on the mind and completely unconscious.
When you weren't aware.
Yeah, when you're not aware. Crystal, tell me a time when before in the past you might have thought something was regretful for you, but then you finally saw the bigger picture.
Having my daughter at a really young age, it teach me a lot. And at the beginning, it's not that I didn't regret of her. Of course not. I don't have any regrets about her, but it teach me a lot. And if I had the opportunity to be conscious before that, I wouldn't chose that, or I wouldn't even get pregnant.
Yeah, so as you can see here, she did not. Many of you that might be watching might think, wow, I had a kid early on. That sucks, I didn't get to live my life. And a lot of people might stay in that pattern of, man, why did I have kids? Especially if you're still young and you have dreams that you aspire to accomplish. But as you can see here, what did you learn about having your daughter?
So much. How to be a better mother for her, being conscious of what is that I'm really teaching her, how to really have patience to teach another person, another being that is learning from me. So now I need to be conscious of how I act, to see how she's going to act, to see what she's learning.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a blessing.
That's a blessing. But you see, she didn't really believe that at first. It took her a while to come to this own consciousness, this level of understanding, which equals a level of consciousness. So by her being conscious now, she understands that even though she had her kid early on, she was able to learn the blessing in disguise, which was, wow, she woke me up.
And she did.
And she showed her what kind of role model she's being, how her ignorance is then reflected to her daughter, or more precisely, projected onto her daughter, so that then she becomes a living reflection of all those bad habits.
Yes.
Okay, and we don't want our kids to be, right, the role model, the example of our bad habits.
Yes, and you see them. You can see when a lot of the teaching, how the way that I saw it was sometimes she start doing behaviors, and I was like, did she learn that? At that moment, that realm of thoughts came to me. Did she learn that about me? Am I doing that? And then I got conscious, and I knew that I had to change it. So, as again, it's a blessing. So let's go with you. What is one thing that you have regret, or that you see in that moment as a regret, but now you know better?
All right, so for me, my journey was going to school, in high school. So when I was graduating high school, about to walk the stage, I said to myself, wow, how come you didn't aspire to really become your best version academically? You have so much potential. You had all the chances and opportunity to get straight A's, to meet people, to join an extracurricular activity, and all you did was have a rebellious attitude, want to skip school and do whatever you want and not do homework.
Don't feel too bad. Everybody goes through that. I never liked school either. But for the sake of this.
Yeah, but imagine, I was like, wow, dude, you really could have made something of yourself, and you didn't. But then, right after I graduated high school, I then took responsibility for that regret that I was feeling. That feeling that was turning into a regret slowly. And I said, no, I'm going to shift that perspective and really understand what is going on. So I see the blessing now, which is that rebellious attitude of school, not wanting to be within the structure of...
help you to wake up.
Yeah, help me
to your reality.
Help me to wake up and say, actually, I do not want to participate in that structure and education system, because there's actually a more important understanding in education, which is who I am as a human being and my potential and capacity here on earth. Something that they do not teach you in high school, or at least in my high school, and worldwide in many high schools. It's not normal, it's not common. So therefore, I'm grateful, and here we are. So you see, this is the main idea of the why. Why is it so important to understand regret? Where it comes from. Do you see our perspectives, where they were coming from? They come from an understanding of not knowing ourselves. They come from our own ignorance, not going deep at all, at a more profound level, when we are so multi-layered and multifaceted. We have so many new and higher levels of consciousness and understanding on how to see reality. And sometimes we settle for less. We settle for the surface. But you are beyond the surface. You are infinite.
Don't settle for less.
Don't settle for the surface. Keep going deeper.
Yes, there's
peel that onion.
Exactly.
Yeah,
peel that onion.
Peel that onion. Find out why it is that you have your regret. Why do you have such a lack or limited perspective on whatever regret it is?
And change your perspective.
And change your perspective. Shift. Find a blessing, right? And set yourself free. Okay?
Yes. So now going to the
how. So how can we now walk forward? What mindset is most applicable to transcend regret and to live each day without it? Forever, yes. Just like happiness no matter what. Ecstasy, bliss. How do we arrive at this place within ourselves that we can fully be without regret? So, 1, 2, 3. The present moment. Okay.
I was going to say living in the present moment, but I was like, what?
Okay, so you see, we gotta practice that intuitive flow. So, living in the present moment, this is the best advice, but it does take responsibility. Dedicate your whole consciousness, accept, understand, and fully engage with everything that's around you and in front of you. What will this allow you to do? It will allow you to see what needs to be seen, what is actually happening, not what you think is bad or positive.
And something that I like to mention that a lot of people like to say, oh, but that didn't happen to you. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Yes, it did happen. We're not saying that it did not happen. But once again, are you going to live your life unhappy, or are you going to live your life, you want to live life YOLO, you only live once, happy and blissful, and with all that you want, what we
Yeah,
want,
so
happiness.
basically, don't trap yourself to one moment when you have so many other moments happening back to back. And here's another. And another. And another. Right?
Whoa!
We have so many moments to be reborn. But the thing is, how long do you allow yourself to be dead?
Choose
Okay?
it.
Choose to be alive in each moment. Revive yourself in each moment. Something happens in a circumstance in your daily life that you don't like, someone says something to you, or you make a decision based out of fear. This is the last thing, right? That I want to wrap around, is that the choices that we make and sometimes that lead us into regret is fear. Who we really are is love and the full expression of such. So everything that you might be thinking or feeling that has to do with fear and limitation, that is not you, the real you. So that means just shift out of that. Shift out of that
Snap
fear.
out of that.
Snap out of the
if
fear.
you gotta, mira, boom.
Slap the fear out of you so you can be fully engaged once again, reborn, and you can say, I'm ready to take on this life. Max, why are you screaming?
I'm making a video.
When we're doing the video.
Come now into the video.
Yeah, so apparently he wants to make an appearance.
Ugh. Here it is.
Okay, so he doesn't live each day without. I mean, he definitely lives each day without regret because look, he barks.
He's just being.
He barks. He doesn't even take into consideration that we're doing a video, but he just barks his little heart out. You see, fully authentic, no regrets, and guess what?
He's
when we
like
do another video, he'll keep on barking, and he doesn't have a problem. So, based on love, not fear. Okay, whatever is in alignment with fear within your internal world, it's not you. Shift out of it, be reborn, unleash that happiness once again. You only live once. You've heard this before. So live. Let yourself live.
Yes.
And when you're fully engaged in the present moment and you're always choosing to allow yourself to live and not be so focused on what's happening, right? That one moment that you're being trapped to, you're free.
Yes.
You always have been. You've only forgotten sometimes.
And you always will be.
And you always will be. Time to wake up, time to evolve. We love you, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye-bye.